Thank you, folks. I'm really excited you could join us today. We have a great show for you. Young talked about this very interesting concept, which is data is the new oil. Guess what? Uh, let's stay on this analogy for a little while longer. It turns out that most of us here in Silicon Valley talk a lot about data, especially big data. And some of us will remember the first time we used VisiCalc, and some of us remember when we first started using Microsoft Word. That was small data. It was just a few years ago, a couple of decades ago, when we had small data, and it's really transformed into big data today. The same thing also happened with oil. It's been big oil for the last 100 years or so, but guess what? People have known about oil for a very long period of time. In fact, oil was found by the riverbeds in China in the Middle East a long time ago, and the oil lamps were lit in China a couple of thousand years ago. Oil was also used to surface roads in the Middle East 2,000 years ago in the city of Baghdad. So oil was small oil for a very long period of time until what Young referred to about 100 years ago, everything changed. And it was really the invention of the modern automobile that fundamentally changed the history of oil. You finally had a machine that was a very efficient consumer of oil. It brought people together. It promoted commerce. And over the next 100 years, you really had oil, small oil became big oil. It really fueled our economy all the way till today. But today, if you take that analogy to data, where is the big data sitting? I think most of big data today sits in a handful of data centers out there. In fact, there's 7 companies that hold most of the world's data, particularly the new kind of data that's being generated today. We think that whatever happened in the oil industry is happening to the data industry. We believe that in the future, as Young talked about, every car will be a data center, every home will be a data center, every office will be a data center. In fact, you're going to have millions of data centers around us. But getting to that point of millions of data centers around us where data is produced and data is consumed and value is created for all of us here, that is going to take some fundamental technology innovation. To talk about how we're going to get there, how we're going to get to this millions of data centers and the kind of architecture that it takes for us to get there, we're going to have Pradeep Sindhu, the founder of Juniper, and also now the founder of Fungible, joining us to talk about it. One other analogy, I'll leave you with this final thought. If you think about what really enabled cars to work for everybody, and automobiles to work for everybody, it was the internal combustion engine, which really consumed oil, made cars go fast, and made it possible for people to come together. Perhaps the same analogy holds good for AI. If AI is the internal combustion of new data, you want AI to work for everybody. You want AI to be fast, you want it to be efficient, and you really want it to work well. And that also takes some fundamental device-level innovation. And to talk about that, we're going to have Nigel Toon, CEO of GraphCore, who's going to talk to us about how AI can be accelerated. So with that, please welcome Pradeep Sindhu.